So, quick disclaimer before the video starts. I know it's February, okay? I know it's February and I know I'm like 2 months late, but I just wanted to share this video anyways because I was about to just not post it. Um but I'm posting it anyways, and with the whole TikTok ban, I was more worried about CapCut because it deleted a video I've been working on for about 5 months, and it was a hair growth video. And I'm not refilming or trying to do another one of those. I'm just done with that project now. But I'm really sad about that, and that's why I kind of haven't been posting at all these past few weeks. And I don't know, I'm sorry. But this video will be coming out soon. I have to edit it still, and it's probably gonna take a while because it is a longer video. But love you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy me sharing all the books I read this year. And if you're not a reader, go get a book and read something, because it honestly really just helps your mindset, helps you learn new words, helps your vocabulary. I don't know, when I started reading a few years ago, I started talking like a lot more proper, I guess. I don't know, but hope you guys enjoy the video. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I did just wake up and I have coffee right there, but today I'm gonna be showing you guys all of the books I read this year. And before I get into this, I'm just gonna say I'm doing like a quick little review. I'm not like gonna be talking about everything, but there will be no spoilers, obviously, for any of these. And last thing, I am a normal paced reader, I'd say. I don't read fast, but when I'm into a book, for some reason, I can like literally like I read so fast. It's weird. But today, I'm just gonna be giving quick little overviews of all the books I read this year. I've like my journal right here, and I have it tabbed to where I started. So I started like in March, and March is when I read like the most. But I read one of these books in January. I just started this reading journal in March, so I just put them all in March. So I actually only read like one book in January. To be fair, I don't even know when I read it. It probably was March. I don't even know, but these are the stock of books for March or February, January, and March. It's the stock. But first off, we have guys, these are falling. Okay, first off, we have Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. This book is, let me see, it's 425 pages. I finished it pretty quickly, to be honest. I remember having like a little reading slump in like the middle of the book, and then I finished the rest of the book in like a day. So whatever. I don't even know what happened there. But I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars, which is a pretty good ranking for me because I started to get a little harsh. But hey, it was pretty good. It was basically about these two guys, and they had a fake relationship for both of their benefits, and then they end up falling in love, and it was really cute, actually. And I can't wait to read Husband Material, which is the next book, so I hope they get married. Okay, I actually read this book in like 2 days. It was Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief. I gave this a 4 out of 5. I actually really liked revisiting this because I used to love Percy Jackson as a kid. There is 375 pages. I actually read it in 2 days. That's like pretty good for me, at least. But, I mean, if you don't know the story of Percy Jackson, girl, just read it or watch the movie. Like, this is a classic. The Lightning Thief, so good. Next up, we actually have Sea of Monsters, which is also a movie. I read this one in like 3 days because this one was way more boring. I gave it a 3.5. How many pages was this? I don't even know. But this one's basically, about a whole bunch of different stuff. I love the twists and I love how just everything kind of changes in this book, you know? But yeah, this was definitely a 3.5 out of 5 for me. It wasn't my favorite, but it's still a good book, you know? Next up, we have The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. And girl, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I was about to say I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I gave it a 4 out of 5. And the reason I probably didn't like it that much was probably because, well, I obviously liked it. I gave it a freaking 4, but like, you know what I mean. I watched the show originally, and I actually have the other book. I have the other book, and I haven't watched the second season yet, and I can't wait to read that book before I watch the show. But I think the show probably ruined it a little bit for me. But it was still really romantic and cute, and it was actually really different from the book, I'd say. The book was definitely better, but yeah, this was The Summer I Turned Pretty. Oh my god, I can't believe I read like pretty much 2 Sarah J Maas series this year, but this is the next book. This is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read this in 1 day. A lot of people hate on this book, but I'm obsessed with it. There's literally 415 pages, and I obviously gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. Personally, I love this book so much, and I don't know. I love how it started off YA because, I don't know. I loved the build-up for Spice later in the series. It just made it better. But if you want to check this out, this is YA. This has no Spice. But the rest of the series does. So I wouldn't recommend reading it if you don't want to get Spice later on. Because once you read this, you're going to have to finish the series, girl. You're going to want to. Next book I read was A Court of Mist and Fury, which I gave a 6 out of 5 stars. Wow. Okay. Damn. I loved this book. The spice scenes at the end and just everything that happens in this book was like actually so powerful, and I cried a lot. She's chunky. I think it did take me a while to read it. There's 624 pages in this. It took me a while, but we're still in March, so. Okay, last up for March, which is basically the first 3 months of the year, we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. This was my first read of Emily Henry, and honestly, I give it a 5. I give it a 5 out of 5. This book is honestly so good, and let me tell you why. I love the scenery in this book, I think, more than the actual story. I don't know why, but the way Emily Henry describes the scenery in this book, girl, I don't know why. I don't know why. But something about it, I still think about those places in my head that I've like made up from this book. And it's like honestly so beautiful. I don't know, but I love this book so much, and I can't wait to reread it this year in 2025. Next up, we're going into April, which is like more of an accurate month. I read 3 books in April. I read A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is this guy. This book was honestly just as good as, actually it was, Akamath was a little bit better, to be honest, but this book was good. I gave it a 5. I gave it a 5. I know, y'all are gonna be like, a 5 for the whole series? But yeah, it was a 5 for me. Okay, I love this book. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Oh. But the next book, was actually a 4 out of 5 because it was kind of bad. This was a good transition into the next, book, though. I will say. This was a good transition. It was still a 4. That's really good, so. I remember reading this in, like, one whole day because I literally couldn't stop. It's 230 pages. And lastly, for April, I actually don't have the book with me because I read it, what's it called? On Kindle Unlimited. It's The Teacher by Frida McFadden, which I gave a 5 stars, and I want to talk about some of the topics in the book because they are weird. Like, I don't know. I just think it was weird. The smut in it was just not it. But the story itself was so good. I literally read it in one day. And if I read a book in one day that is 370 pages long, it automatically has to get a 5. I mean, I'm sorry. But if it was that good for me to sit there while I had so much to do and just read it all day, it's getting a 5. But that was The Teacher by Frida McFadden, and I can't wait to read The Housemaid. I have it right back there right now. I'm excited. I've heard some good things. Y'all better not be lying to me. I heard it was really good, but The Teacher was really good, so. May. Okay, so May 2024, I also read 3 books. 3 books. I don't know why I said it like that. This is when I read, A Court of Silver Flames. And guys, I'm so sad because my copy got wet because I was reading it by the pool. And now it's like this. But shows it was loved, okay? That just shows it was loved. A Court of Silver Flames is probably my favorite book in the series. I don't know why I didn't rate it a 6, because I come back and think about this book every day. Like, genuinely. And a lot of people don't like this book. And it puts me in confusion. I'm like, how? Oh my god, what's her name gets her happy ending? Like, oh my, when the side characters become the main characters, like, it's just, especially when the side characters already feel like your best friends, you know, it's crazy. Like, I don't know, the magic she put in the worlds of all of these books. This book made me cry a lot. Like, real tears. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. This was the book I cried the most in. I don't know, Nesta's evolution is probably my favorite part of the series because, y'all, she's literally me. Anyways, up next, I could not stop reading Sarah J. Maas books. I had to hop in the Throne of Glass. And this book, I gave a 5 out of 5 because I genuinely loved it so much I couldn't put it down. And I think it's just so cute because she wrote this when she was 16. And I can see it, you know. The writings definitely giving that. But honestly, I loved it. It was such a good story, you know? It's a good intro. Next up, we have Crown of Midnight, which I gave a 4 stars. I loved this book. I just didn't like it that much. It was good. Do I remember much of what happened in it? Not that much. I know she, you know, did the king's side quests, but that's all I really know from it. Like, when I can't remember stuff from a book, like specific scenes, specific things, I don't know, it's just not my kind of tea. But this definitely wasn't a 5, it was definitely a 4, but it was still really good and I enjoyed reading it, you know? Next up, we have June, and I only read 1 book in June. I read Assassin's Blade, and I feel like everyone just loves this book. And I loved it too, but like, it got hyped up for me. And I expected like some crazy shit. I expected some crazy stuff. It was really good, though. It was, because characters later on go into the later on books that I've known, and it's just, like, now looking back, it's like, oh wow, this book's crazy. And I do love it. I really do. I gave it a 5. But people were hyping it up to be like a 6 out of 5, you know? But no, she's just a 5. She was really good. We have a little coffee break, coffee intermission. So I made like a little latte, and it's honestly so good. Okay. Just letting you guys know, I had like the biggest reading slump for the rest of the year. Sorry. So July, we have Hair of Fire. Where's Hair of Fire girl? Hair of Fire, which I actually didn't. I was so bored at first, I will say. I was so bored. And then once we got, I'd say, to here. This is the first half of the book. Once we got to here, that's when it actually gets good. Like, really good. But literally the other half is so boring to me. I don't know. But, you know, it was still good. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. It was still good. Because this last section really did it. Made me cry, made me sob. It did everything for me. And if you know, you know. Moving into July, we have... Oh, I mean August. Wait, were we on July? We were already on July. Okay, now moving into August. I actually read 2 books, period. So, first up, I read November 9 by Colleen Hoover. And I know people shit on Colleen Hoover all day, every day. Ooh, Wattpad writing. I don't care. I can read Wattpad writing if my heart feels like it. And no one's gonna stop me. Anyways, this book is 307 pages. I read it in like 2 days. I actually gave it a 4. I was leaning toward the 5, but no, it couldn't get a 5. I mean, the writing, just everything was a little weird in this book. I don't know, it kind of felt sloppy a little bit, but the story is what matters. The story is good. And I would definitely recommend it. Next up, this book was honestly so difficult to read. This is my, I think, lowest rating of the year. We have Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. Kathleen Glasgow. Yeah. This is the most depressing book I've ever read. I had to give it a 3 just because it was so difficult to read. I did check the trigger warnings, and I just read it anyways because that's me. But, you know, I should have not read this. Not that it was bad. It was a little slow. The story itself is good because there is a good ending, and I loved it. I cried so much in this book. But it just got a 3 because I preferred it to be shorter. This book did not need to be 401 pages. Like, when I tell you this could have been 100 pages less. It could have been 100 pages less. I mean, but hey, whatever. Next up, in September, I read Queen of Shadows, which was my favorite book so far in the Throne of Glass series. Queen of Shadows is a 5 out of 5. Even a 6 out of 5. I was in love with this book, man. In love. This is gold. This is gold. Ooh, in October, I read 3 books. Period. In October was when I kind of got out of my reading slump. First, I read One Italian Summer, which got a 3.5 stars from me. It was a little weird. I mean, I think it was really beautiful. The scenery in this book, the way she writes in this book is really good. Not the way she writes, the way she describes the scenery. But her writing overall isn't my favorite. I'm sorry, Rebecca. Rebecca Searle. Yeah, Rebecca Searle. But honestly, if you want a really quick, kind of like mystery, this was an unexpected like romance mystery. If you want something quick, I actually recommend this because it was really good. I gave it a 3.5. I don't know if I said that already, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. Next up, I'm just gonna put these two together, kinda. Actually, I'm not. Well, whatever. Tandem read for Throne of Glass. We have Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. If you don't know what the tandem read is, you basically read these together at the same time. You switch chapters. And you follow like a list, so you know you're doing it right. But this is the first one. I gave this a 5-star. This book is outstanding, okay? I even put a little heart by it. That's how you know. That's how you know. This book also, it wasn't as good as Queen of Shadows, because Queen of Shadows is like my baby, but this book is outstanding and incredible. Next up, we actually have Tower of Dawn, and I'm so happy I did the tandem because I would have put this down after 100 pages. Then I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna try again. After 200 pages, I would DNF it. It's just on and on and on until you're literally at the very end and it's good. Like, oh my god, it was so much work trying to get this book done, but I got it done. I gave it a 3-star. This is my least favorite in the series by far. I'm actually going to cut that part out because I said their names, but if you don't want to hear character names, then skip to this time. But Kale and Nesrin, I love them so much, but like, their journey, oh my god, and all the side characters in this book, like, I just don't really care about. I care about the side characters in this book more, so it's just, like, so weird reading this book for me. And, you know, there's gonna be Tower of Dawn lovers out there, and you know what? You have your book, it's okay. Love that for you, but this was not my thing. This is not my tea. Lowest rated Sarah J Maas book besides A Court of Frost and Starlight, which got a higher rating than this. But yeah. Okay, that was, the entire video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched the whole thing, don't forget to like the video. And comment if you want little more, like, book reviews throughout the year. Or if you want one next year. And don't forget to subscribe. I do lots of vlogs, beauty content, music content, and other fun stuff that you might like. This is my first bookish video, but I've always been a reader, and I just got back into it about last year, or 2 years ago, too. But, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so close to 400 subscribers. If you could subscribe and support me down below, that would mean the world. You guys are the best. And, I'll see you guys in the next one.